Okay, it's running. And it is, now this is like a it's a GoPro.
Okay.
So it doesn't have a zoom. So what I do is after I edit everything, I zoom in on my editing. So that's what I gotta do. Okay, so here we are, 8x8 canvas. This is for people watching. And we're gonna put the cushion down. Our paints are ready. Okay, oop, I did just what I said I wasn't gonna do, but that's okay. Don't need more than that for the cushion. And let it just roll around. Eventually I'm going to let it go off the sides. At first I want it to go all the way over the edges. I think they can see this. Okay, probably a little more. Just so it goes off the edges easily. And I want to make sure it gets all around the edge, because otherwise you're going to have to wind up going in between with something to get the edges done. No. You have to do the pour. You don't want to do that. Come on down. Turn this way they can see in the camera. Okay, that's a nice cushion. Pulls out. And that's the torch. Use a regular kitchen torch. So it's handy. But you don't, I don't think it's going to be a problem, bubbles, right now. Stay put, little cup. Okay, now when I start pouring, I'll notice if it's off one way or the other. I might have to add more sticks, because once it's wet, I can't put the level on it anymore. So we're going to start with, just wipe my hands off a little. A good wet towel is good to use, so then you don't have to keep on using paper towels. It's a good trick to save. You know, if you just want to go like this with a wet towel, that's great. And the reason I'm doing it is just so they don't slip out of my hands. Okay, put that right there. So, what goes in first is going to come out last. What goes in first is going to come out last. So if I want the center to be nice and light, I'm going to put the yellow in first, because I want it nice and light. Or whatever color you want in the center, I'm going to put out first. Now what I got to keep in mind is these are small canvases, and sometimes I put too much paint. That's enough. I think I'll do the orange next. Oh, I want you people to see. A little orange. I'm going to go with the... And you say, well, what order do you put them in? Well, I kind of like dark, light, dark, light. When I've done the other ones, and I think I'm going to do layers, small layers. What did I miss? This one. See how pretty that looks?
It is pretty. And the green.
So we'll put that in there. You're right. You need the green. Oh, she's very observant. So I have Carol here with me, my neighbor today. She's going to be watching a pour. So the green. And now I'm going to just put, because I want more of that blue to show up. A little bit more of the coffee. This is probably plenty of paint already. A little bit more of this. I'm looking at my layers, see? Whatever comes out first is going to probably go over the side if you put too much paint in here. So that doesn't matter. That's going to go away. So we're going to start with this and see what happens. So I'm going to do tiny little circles. Very minute motion with the hand. Just a slight jiggle, actually.
That's really cool.
It's pretty. Here comes my center, which is the last part in the cup, right? You want that bright, bright center. That's why we put the yellow in first. Ooh, now I might have enough there. So I'm going to stop it right there. Because if I put more, it's going to just make this go over more. And it's a waste of paint too. So some people torch it. Oh, it's spreading. See, it's spreading out by itself?
Mm-hmm.
And these beautiful layers are coming in. Lines like a tree ring. That's why it's called tree ring pour. It's my favorite pour, actually. So I'm going to bring it over this way a little bit because it's leaning that way too much. Now the silting is the tricky part, because you're probably going to lose a lot of stuff. But here's this beautiful stuff happening in there. So what I'm going to do is just torch it a minute, and it'll make that come up a little bit more. Don't you go over. So I'm just going to grab the torch. Torch, all you have to remember what a torch is. Do not put it too close. It is flame. And do not keep it in one place ever too much. Let it keep moving, moving, moving. See what it's doing? It's bringing up some more veins and things. It's heating up the paint is what it's doing. Okay, that's good enough. All right. I was afraid of the torch, and I asked my daughter-in-law, who's a chef, how to use it. She's, look at the demo on YouTube, on Google it. Okay. And that was easy.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's done some cool stuff already, right?
Yeah.
And I should have taken my glasses off. Beautiful. So it's bringing up some of this sandy stuff here.
Mm-hmm.
It's increased these what they call cloud cells. And now we could see what we could save. Probably all this blue is going to go off, because you can't keep this much paint on the canvas. So you want to gradually let it, the more you move the paint, the more stuff's going to happen. The cells, some cells are coming up. I did not add silicone oil at all, because the trouble with silicone oil is it does make more cells, although I didn't care about that in this particular pour. But if you put too much silicone, you have oily at the top. You have an oily surface. You're left with an oily surface. These are cloud cells, and that's from probably the Liquitex paint. So I am making a decision now which side is boring, which side I want to keep, which I want to go off more of the side, because I have to let more off. When it slows up moving, that's when you have enough paint off the sides. I like the orange in there, so let me just let that and let it come back quick. Wow, I can see the coffee. The coffee, the metallic coffee. Nice little, I always start people on smaller ones like this because it's easy to turn them around and tilt a different way. So I'm really loving this. So I'm going to let that grow a little bit more. Let that go off the side. Very autumny. Very autumny. So it's a gradual rocking thing. Helps what you don't want to go off too soon, not to go off too soon. And I can tip it that way too to make that corner. But tipping it so it won't go off too fast, what I want to preserve. It's also stretching this. Oop. Let's go over here. And you bring it back quick so that you don't lose too much over the side. Just hit the tip. I don't like this white tip down here. I'll let this stretch a little. Just get this off. Well, I'm touching with white hands. That's why it's doing that. With white on my hands. Ooh, I love the way that's stretching. Okay, if that's not doing what I want, I'm going to, because I had white on my hand, just get rid of that white that way. Yay! See? Little trick. Just a little trick.
Yeah.
I did it here too. So I don't want to put my hands on the top, I guess, is what I'm... That's more of the brown there. Okay, good. Keep your hands off the top, Ursula. So now I'm asking myself, what do I want stretched more? The paint's moving real slow now. See that? Which is good. That means there's probably enough off. But I want to look at composition now. what parts I want more predominant, what parts I don't want. So I have this choice right now of being able to do that by just tilting it different ways and compositionally see what, kind of like it like that. Yeah, I do. So I like the, and I can put it down for a minute because this is level. It's not going to move, hopefully, if I did it right. And so I'm looking at the combination of, I like this coming in like this, I like this area coming in, and I love this into that. So compositionally, I'm looking at each space and saying, this might be better a little less and let this grow a little bit more, so I'm going to just let it, you got a few minutes, quite a few minutes to make these decisions. So I'm just going to let that go off, let that stretch a little bit more. It is stretching. And I can always come back a little bit. Whoa. Come on, go off. Yeah, it's not moving very much at all. Don't want it to go off too much. Bring it back quick. Yeah, I like that better now. With a little less of that stuff at the top. It's also doing some cool stuff in here by stretching. So that is pretty much how I like it. I don't think I want to change it anymore, so I could put it down and then get my cups where they need to be. Hopefully they are where they need to be. Sometimes I come back down in a half an hour and see if anything is sliding a little, and then I'll stick a stick under to make sure it's not going to go over the side. Hopefully we've got it level. And I usually clean the bottom a little bit with a stick. This is a small canvas, so whoop, it's not covered over here. So I've got to cover that little spot right there. Okay, good. Look for any white canvas and get rid of it. I just want, it's a wraparound thing. So I don't want, well, it helped to clean your finger, wouldn't it? Get that white off. Duh. You know how many times I've done that and I still do the same stupid thing over and over? Let me just wipe that off and put it on clean. Could also touch it up after it's dry. Okay, that's better. As long as it gives that wraparound effect. I'm not a perfectionist, so that's good enough for me. Just want to, I don't like this white spot right there. And I think I need some blue. So it's a little more complicated than it looks, isn't it?
Yeah.
Get that.
You don't just pour it on. You
Looks like you just pour it on, right?
have to know what you're doing.
Kind of. It still does have a mind of its own, though. Okay, so I think that's pretty good. So now we torch it and get any bubbles out and any, see anything, if any more veins come up from the heat. So I did not add this, which is, you can get it at Walmart. It's coconut milk for hair.
Huh.
What it has in it is the kinocom, which is the oil. Dimethicone, that's it. That's actually the pure dimethicone. But this has dimethicone in it, and it's cheaper. So you could add either dimethicone or you can add, where's that other silicone? Oh, I have that inside. I was cleaning my, just plain cheap silicone from the hardware store. So, okay, I'll do this. Maybe I'll do the next one. I'll add a little stuff in there to show you. So I'm just going to bust any bubbles. You got to just keep this thing moving. And don't go nowhere anything else that could catch fire. Just keep it on the canvas. Woohoo! Okay. So I'm going to shut that camera off. Beep, beep, beep. Beep, beep, beep. Okay. 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 So I'm going to get rid of this first. Now, the order of this is not as important as when you're doing a tree ring pour. In fact, they put a nice tree ring it did in the cup.
It did.
So it'll start seeping out the bottom in a few minutes. The more you put in, the more pressure it's going to put on that cup to release. So you don't really need a lot of paint before it starts doing that. And you'll start seeing the effects. That's what's exciting about a tree ring pour, pretty quickly. If I go like that, it goes dives deeper into the. Whoa! Almost did it. Got plenty of this. Now, if it doesn't want to give at the bottom, which sometimes it does that, I help it along. I'll lift it a little bit.
Does it matter what order you put in these
I
in?
basically stick with light to dark. Light to dark so I get some contrast. It's not moving. Oh, now it's moving.
Mm. It's growing.
Mm-hmm. Give it a little swirl. Looks like an abalone shell. Usually I do that at the end. Oh, look, see, this is the silicone.
Mm.
That's what the silicone is doing.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
It is. The effects, I just love the effects it does. You don't have to, you can't paint that in there. That's just what the paint does with certain additives. It's not moving, so I'm going to help it along. Kind of looks spacey, doesn't it? Galactal. A lot of this stuff looks galactal. Woo! Look at that cute little cell. Oh. Okay. Probably too much paint. Whoa. Magic. Don't you dare go off the side. You think you're in control, but you're not. I am. I talk to the paint. I talk to them. Wow. Now that's cool.
It is.
That is so cool. So that's open cup. It's very, got a lot of paint on here, so that means, oh darn it, I'm gonna have to get rid of some stuff, which I hate. Well, let me get this corner. Let me try to just get a little bit off each corner so that I can keep some of that cool stuff that's going. Now it'll keep making cells because of the silicone, especially if I hit it with the gun. The gun loves, cells love the gun. Try to keep my fingers off the top. Got that big glob of green there for now. Don't like that big glob of green in the middle. Alright, let's let that grow that way. Let's let this grow a little bit. Just get rid of some of that green. Bring some of it back. And that's pretty.
It is pretty.
I'm trying to decide compositionally how much of the green I want to get rid of. Sometimes a quiet space is good. Yeah, okay. See, that's so different than the other one, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Now, it'll bring up more cells when I hit it with the gun, I hope. But this one I would like a little more cells. I start touching the top. Get the white off the sides. Because the white pretty much disappeared. And the green is calmed down a lot.
Mhm.
It's okay. Let's put it down, and we will. I need one clean finger. One clean finger. Oh, it went over anyway. Okay, let's get some cells up. Let's put that there. Still pretty wavy, but it's pretty.
It is
I
pretty.
like it. Okay, so that was a tree, not a tree ring pouring. That was an open cup pour, and we start. It changed drastically every time, right? I mean,
Mhm.
that you can't really control a lot, but you keep working with it until you're pleased with the composition at the end. And then we're going to take this guy. Whoops! I just did it,
Yep.
didn't I? I have a paint mustache. Take this guy. It's gonna see. It's bringing up cells because the cells like silicone.
Okay.
So if you want to get more of a galactose type of look, just keep it moving. Keep it moving. It will heat up the paint if you just, even though you're moving, just let it keep moving, and it'll keep bringing up cells even after a few minutes after I stop doing this with the gun, because the paint is still hot. And the oil separates the paint, and that's what brings up the... Okay, running out of this stuff. I got more of this stuff. Okay, well, let's leave that alone. Let you
That
go.
looks nice.
You like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it too. Okay, so they're different, right?
Do you
They're
want to
both...
keep recording or?
Oh yeah, let's bring it... Oh, let me just stop. Join it to the other one. Yeah, oh, much better. Oh yeah, now you got to wrap around. Nice. Wipe your fingers so you don't drip into it. So let me see, how long did that take? You came over at what time?
At 1:30.
So it's 2 hours. It's a 2-hour lesson. That's what I was saying. About 2 hours is perfect, and that size canvas I think is really great. Look at this little one popping up. Ooh. See, they'll still be popping up even after you take the gun away because it's still warm, and the oil will still push things away. It's gorgeous. I love that. Oh. Ooh, 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 ooh. Good job, Carol.
Thank you. I really appreciate this.
You're welcome. Now, you want to take a picture with your phone?
Sure.
Yeah. Take a picture. Okay. And I'll cover these up. Okay. So now we want, that does look like kind of canyony. We're going to have to soften that. Then we put the yellow. We put the yellow, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the yellow, I don't know where the yellow went. Where did I put it at the top? I don't want to cover all the blue. Okay.
Do I use the same one or?
No, it'll be dirty.
Okay.
You get a nice clean pour. You won't get a clean pour. You have to wet it. And sometimes I've been known to experiment with this for an hour. Depends on what I'm in fact, this is getting better.
So do it from the very top or partly top?
Partly, because this way it looks like you have like a sunset at the top.
Like that?
Okay. And now turn it over. Oh no, it's the same color. It's okay. Put it about here. Let it get flat. Now pull. Oh, now we wait for the cells to come up. If we want to get rid of that canyon in the middle, although I'm not totally against it, just take a little piece. And the cells are coming up. Oh yeah, I like the cells. Just get rid of the canyon. Oh, maybe not. Oh, that's better. That's better. So you want to... There we go. Ooh. And then we could always put the yellow at the top at the end. Yellow. Green. I want you to torch it. I'll make some little cells connect. You've got a chasm. Okay, give it a chance to percolate. Yeah. It's coming up. They're coming up. I like this bluish green in there.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we should put a little bit of that across the top and swipe it. Let me see. And yellow is stronger for some reason. Did I put less yellow on yours than I did on mine? I don't know. How about the orange?
That could work.
What do you think, the orange or the green?
Let's try the orange.
The orange? Orange. I'll keep this open in case we need to go there. Striping is interesting. It is fun. You really never know what's going to happen with swiping. You could just do some of the... Alright, so I'm going to put it right across the top and swipe down. Okay. Ooh. Definitely sunset at the top. Well, sometimes I just tilt.
Okay. I
Right
was just
to-
thinking that too.
Yeah, just tilt it in there. Ooh. Wow. That's
Keep
pretty
going.
cool. Beautiful. Now it needs something at the top of that. It's kind of like, it's, now this is the top. Now this is the earth. Maybe it should be yellow.
Mm-hmm.
You got good instincts. You do. Did you? Well, you did those paintings. See, and I think that helps. And I let it start at the edge so I can see how much the pour is. Yeah. It repeated the yellow down here too. It kind of like drew everything in together, didn't it?
Mm-hmm. Should I tilt it?
I don't know. What did I do up here? I kind of smushed it with the tip of that thing.
Yeah.
Let me see. So it makes it a little uneven. Not quite as contrived. The sunset is not that contrived, right?
Mhm.
And a more earthy thing going on here.
Yeah, I like it going down like that
Mm-hmm.
because it breaks that orange.
Mm-hmm. Makes it a little more earthy. Now space, 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 the same, so you got to break up some of that sameness. Better. Better design. Okay, hit it with the gun. Oh, they made a more interesting painting.
Well, it needed improvement.
Well, after my foot went in it, yeah. Duh.
Wouldn't need it from before anyway.
I've never signed a painting that way before with my feet.
That's right. You'd be like in Thailand or whatever, they have the elephants doing the paintings.
Oh, yeah. Did you see that? That's
Mhm.
amazing. Okay, that should be good. Oh, you can see that orange is not going to make a whole lot of cells. It's not a cell maker. What do you think? I like it to make a little more cells. I wonder if... what were they in my cells? I'm trying to think of maybe a glue under here and swipe it in. It might help. It might make these make cells. Let's try it. I like the way I'm telling you. Let's just do it.
Okay.
It needs something in that orange. It's just too solid.
Mhm.
Okay, now we're not going to swipe into the yellow. We're going to swipe into the blue. We're going to swipe into the blue. And we're going to do just a straight line across.
So this is kind of interesting down here.
That is interesting.
So how are you swiping?
Well, sometimes I turn them around and see if I want that to be the top instead.
Hmm.
That's kind of nice.
I like that, yeah.
Yeah. That's different.
Mm-hmm.
Now this kind of looks boring now. So you might want to swipe that yellow down. You might try, like sometimes I just do a piece of it. No, that gets rid of entirely that thing. And once you do it that much, you have to really... Oh, good to grab the blue. Okay, well now we kind of got something unity going on there. Before it was kind of like this is separate from that.
Mm-hmm.
So now you got some unity. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah? Leave it gone.
Yep.
Let's see if we could bring some cells up on that bottom. Okay, there should be enough. They would start coming up if they're going to come up.
See, look, that turned out really cool.
Yeah. Just doing a little bit over there. I think it works better this way.
Mm-hmm. I do too.
Anyway, that's swiping. When someone sticks their foot in your painting, you swipe. It's all.
And then you have a whole different kind of painting.
Then you get a whole different kind of painting. Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, so you learn swiping, tree ring pour, open cup pour, and swiping. I think I said swiping. Yeah, that was the last thing. Okay.
That's cool.
Yeah. When they dry, I'll let you know.